It's your number one station, RX Radio, playing you so much cool music. Hey, how you doing? Fatboy here, and you're listening to The Fatboy Show right here on RX Radio. And I'm here hanging out with Olive. Olive, you good?
Yes, I'm good.
Why are you smiling? Is it because you've been reading General Muhoozi's tweets?
Oh my goodness, he's back.
He's back.
He's off the leash.
The president told him, yo, chill out with the tweeting. And of course, looks like tweeting is his life. So
well,
he
said no one can tell him what to do. And I agree on that front because he's a grown man, right? He has a phone, he has rights, he can write whatever he wants.
Well, the thing is, he's not a nobody. The things he tweets have an impact in diplomatic relations with neighboring countries.
Yes, they're sticky.
Because if you're the general, the commander of land forces, meaning you control the army, when you put out a tweet indicating or at least sharing a very, how can I say, aggressive sentiment towards a neighboring country,
it
can have regional... can stoke some regional tensions.
Exactly.
And that's what some of the earlier tweets did a few months ago.
And now the current tweets, he was going against his father's party, the NRM.
So let's examine those tweets, because people have been talking about them, and I still don't know if I fully understand what he's saying. So for example, 2 days ago when he tweeted that I'm listening to the outcry of our people for change, I am with the people. Whatever NRM has become certainly does not represent the people of Uganda. That's a powerful sentiment.
Yes,
for someone,
from a first son.
For someone whose father is the leader of the party that he now says is not representing the people of Uganda.
Yes, that is a sticky.
So how is it possible for him to tweet out such things and it not have any consequences? Surely, because if I were the president, his father, this to me would seem like I'm being undermined. This is an act of subversion.
That's what it looks like. But his father, when it came to the tweets about invading Kenya, his father also came up and said, yes, what he said is not how we handle such things, but at the same time, the general has done so well. So the father himself didn't draw a line as to what the son should do and what he shouldn't. So I guess he gets to do whatever he wants.
Normally it's the mother that is the one always making excuses for the child's wrongdoings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually the fathers are quick to discipline, and whereas it's the mothers who are like, "Bambi, he's trying his best. He didn't mean anything bad. Forgive." And that was sort of the tone that we heard from the president as he was apologizing to the people of Kenya
on behalf of his son, because the general never issued. Did he ever issue an apology to Kenya?
I'm not sure I ever read the words "I am sorry," but
he gave something vague.
But look, obviously he has since put out messages to try to diffuse the situation and imply that he's kind of being humorous about it. But I don't know that you can be humorous about this. To say that whatever the NRM has become does not represent the people of Uganda, I mean, that is a clear indication that the party that his father leads is failing the people.
And it's clear indication that the party is torn apart. So there are camps in the party because he is still part of the NRM. He hasn't said that he is an independent or that he belongs to another party. And his father is the chairman of the party. So his statements indicate that there is war, that there is trouble in the NRM camp.
But do you think we're being hoodwinked? Because there is that part of me that I can't help but think that a lot of this stuff is orchestrated. Because that's what you do. In politics, you got to be Machiavellian. You got to know how to move the chess pieces. You got to, the things you say, it's all calculated and coordinated. People don't just talk for the sake of talking. You talk because you have a wider reaching long-term plan. And so I would hazard to guess that there is something going on here that we're not privy to. There is no way he can be tweeting out such things and the father just not being okay with it.
Looks the other way.
It's just to me, it's impossible.
I don't think you're far from the truth. I actually share your same sentiments. I believe that there is something here more than meets the eye, and I personally believe that we are being prepared for an announcement, maybe a year before the 2026 elections, because the Muhoozi project is gaining more ground.
What do you mean a year before?
Around 2025, they will come out and say, because that's when the
But what are you saying?
begin.
That the dude has more or less come out and declared himself to be a candidate.
That he has, but we have not gotten an ideal pronouncement.
He said,
from
we
the
shall
government."
jointly, all of us together, create the 6th Republic. The first was Obote 1, the second was Amin, the third was Obote 2, the fourth was Okello, and the fifth was NRM. Wait, where is Binaisa?
And
Lule. We will be the 6th Republic. And so there you go.
But then at the same time, he's saying those people signing declarations against us in the NRM, we will teach you what Uganda means. This country belongs to Almighty God and the people of Uganda. Let us see who is stronger, you or us. It's confusing. And this is the confusion that I believe that the powers that be want Ugandans to be embroiled in until something happens. Like you said, he has more or less announced that he's standing. But then we need a proper announcement that he is standing. And until then, we are going to have this back and forth of not being sure. Is he not? Is the father coming? Is he not? Until the day they tell us, you know what, the president is stepping down and the son is taking over.
I mean, it could be a trap being laid to expose those within the subversive elements within the party that may be intending to pose a challenge. And so by Muhoozi continuing to flirt with these ideas, it may prompt some of the people within the machinery to start making some moves, and in so doing expose themselves.
Expose them. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There could be that too. I mean, I've seen people like Balaam saying on Twitter, he's saying over the weekend, he said that President Museveni is something like the chosen king, but Muhoozi is the air that he breathes, is the oxygen he breathes.
Oh dear. Well, Muhoozi tweeted this yesterday. He said, some people keep saying I want to be president. Frankly speaking, that has never been in my mind. I'm already the leader of my generation. That's the highest honor I can think of. Our generation will be the greatest. And then he follows that up by saying, okay, let those who want me to be president after my father retweet and like. If you convince me, I will do it. There we go again. And then finally, in a few weeks, I will make an important announcement, not on Twitter, but by other means. I will make it in my personal capacity and as the leader of our generation. So look out for that announcement.
Yeah, we are waiting with bated breath.
Okay, so that's it. It all just seems like a mad, crazy circus, albeit a very entertaining one.
Of course. Did you see the reaction from Dr. Kizabe CJ regarding some of the tweets that Muhoozi issued out over the weekend?
He voiced agreement.
Yeah, he said there now seems to be a point I may agree on. There now seems to be a point I may agree on with Muhoozi Kainerugaba that NRM is probably the most reactionary organization in the country. What he's yet to find out is that NRM is an outfit for organized crime and that Museveni, his father...
Organized crime, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong words.
Strong words indeed.
Strong words. But this is what political opponents say.
Yeah, and we're loving the theater. It's highly entertaining. But, I mean, look, politics is serious business, and this has serious ramifications for how the country shall be governed. We're all very nervous about whether or not there can ever be a peaceful transition of power.
Do you really think there could ever be? There can ever be a peaceful transition of power?
That's what we're worried about, you see. And so I think even though for now it's more on the humorous side, it's just fun and trolling and jokes on Twitter regarding a possible next chapter for this country. I'm hoping that, the temperature doesn't increase and things become too hot.
I'm honestly hoping because from the stories I've heard about 1986 and the years before that, I believe no Ugandan wants to go back to that.
No. So yeah, so I don't know, man. Let's hope whatever plan they're cooking is a plan that's going to work. I mean, ultimately, this is Africa, all right? So it's quite clear that he shall be our next president. And
then you're not missing words about that.
I mean, how else can it turn out? I can't think of a different outcome.
Actually, for me, the people who believe that this man will never be our president, in my mind, I'm like, what are you smoking? Have you been watching what has been happening in Africa, in Uganda itself? As in, there is no chance that another person is going to rule this country. And I stand true to my words.
And you know, the funny thing is that Muhoozi is sucking all the air out of the room. Like, there's literally no one that anyone... I don't know who could come forward to say, I'm also contesting, and anyone would give a damn about that person. Because Muhoozi is just grabbing all of the attention. He is. All of the eyeballs. Everyone's just focused on him.
Are you saying he's grabbing the attention because of his tweets or because of even other works that are being done off the internet?
I would say the tweets are going to do a good job of keeping the elites preoccupied and distracted.
Okay. But then the elites are a small percentage of Ugandans.
Now, for the upcountry, those ones, they're easy to deal with. You know how to deal with them.
Because like we have said on this program prior, he needs to... to
ingratiate himself towards a more sort of rural upcountry population.
Because those are the people who vote.
Yes, but they are not the problem. You see, when you're a politician or if you're like an authority, the people you're concerned about are the middle class. Those are the ones who are going to give you the most headache. And so what I'm saying is that these efforts of Muhoozi to connect with the people in that in the middle class through his activities and shenanigans on Twitter, what I'm saying is, A, it's quite effective. B, it's sucking all the air out of the room. No one else is paying attention. Now, as for upcountry stuff, all that takes is just a bit of coordination, some operatives, some mobilizers, the usual things we see here, right? And perhaps a bar of soap.
And that is corruption. Call it what it is.
Whatever it is, the things that politicians typically do to engage rural audiences, which I'm sure his camp would have no trouble mobilizing.
Well, they have the money.
So I mean, it all seems to be predictable. But of course, what we're scared about is how we get there.
We want
that journey to be as peaceful as possible and as undisruptive.
And we have already had COVID disrupting us. We have already had the war in Ukraine disrupting us. Yeah. A lot has happened. What we don't need a coup.
We do not need that. So if in these efforts, if they're going to be helpful in rooting out some of the potential problem people, because that's what you do when you have a scheme that you're working. Essentially, you want to know who are the potential problem causers. So what you do is you make a few false moves here and there to see if they'll react. And when they react is when they expose themselves. And so you're like, all right, that one. And we keep our eyes on them or something like that.
But then when you go through social media, there are also conversations about who is really in power right now. The father or the son.
Right. And as far as this Twitter account goes, well...
It's up for debate.
It's up for debate.